Musterxmedia presents a tribute to men that hate their jobs, Series 2, Episode 21, Rowley and the Great Unwashed Fat Turd. Today was a weird day. We had ebbs and flows. 1 minute it was busy, next minute it was tumbleweed, and this went on for the entire shift. You just didn't know if you were coming or going. It was a pain in the arse. I'd rather it be busy or just consistent, so not too busy but just flowing. It just wasn't like that. It was busy and then straight away evaporated, gone. For the majority of the shift it was pretty uneventful, right up until about 8 PM when this fat little shit and his just as fat but smelly unwashed brother decided they were both going to come in. Do you have any masks? No, we're exempt. Oh, okay. I was thinking to myself, okay, right, the reason why you're exempt because you have breathing problems because you're that fucking fat, but I held my tongue. Okay, can I get you to sanitize your hands for me, please? I'm allergic to sanitizer, said the fat unwashed kid. Allergic? Really? Are you allergic to all kinds of soap? I said. He looked at me. Right, yeah, sorry, it's just the state of your hand, you know, you must be allergic to a lot of stuff at the moment. It's a shame that I don't have any running water because I'm sure you'd like to wash your hands on running water. He looked at me, but he didn't say anything. So they both went over to the one screen to share so they could place their order. I went up to him, and because it's company policy, you have to be socially distant, even if you're in the same household. So I said to him, look, the social distancing policy that we have to go by, even if you're in the same household, I have to split you up. There's only one exception to the rule, and that is if you're with your parents and you're like under 10. They looked at me, but we're in the same household. Yes, that's what I just said. Did you not hear? I was thinking, right, well, if this little fat fucker can't be bothered to wash his fucking hands and his face because he's just covered in fucking dirt, then he must have some serious carrots in his fucking ears. Yeah. So the social distancing policy that we have to go by, even if you're in the same household, you still have to be separated because that is the conditions that the local authority, the council, make us go by. So he grumbled and he split up from his brother. As soon as his brother had finished paying, they both decided to get in the same spot to wait on. Yes, that includes on the same spots. You're not allowed to share the spot unless you're with a young child. Yeah, but there is no yeah but, okay? You have to be separated, okay? You know, we've only been reopened for 6 months now for customers to come in and do a takeaway only, and you have come in quite a few times, so you kind of should know the rules by now. Don't see why I have to keep repeating myself. Went back over to the door and continued to just monitor the crowds where there actually was no more crowds. There was no one waiting to come in. And then all of a sudden the great unwashed fat fuck decided he was going to sit down on one of the benches. I went over to him. You're not allowed to sit down, mate. Yeah, but you got people over there, and he pointed towards my drivers. You got people over there sat down. Yes, well, they're allowed to sit down. And why am I not? He said. He snarled at me. Because the local authority says that I'm allowed no more than 8 customers in the customer section, and they all have to stand up because it is a takeout only. The drivers have to sit down. They're not allowed to stand up whilst they're waiting because that is what the council have told us that we have to do. These are the rules that we have to go by, and that is it. But what about them? And he pointed to the restricted area of the restaurant where the staff go to have their lunch. Well, you see, they all wear the same uniform as I do. That is our extended staff area because our staff room is too small, and as part of our opening conditions we have to be able to space out, and that is it. That is our staff room now. That section is for our staff so they can have their lunch or their dinner or their tea separated. So they're allowed to sit down, the drivers have to sit down, and you, my son, have to stand up. This riled the little kid, the almighty 12 years old maybe. He may have been 13, but he was just a fat fuck, to be honest. I found it pretty funny that he just screwed up his fat face. And I walked away once more. Oi, he shouted over to me. Oi. I turned around. I went up to him. My name's not Oi. Who do you think you are? I have a name. I have a name badge. And if you failed to take my name down, then you seriously failed at school, haven't you? Because if you can't read a name badge that says my name, and you've been facing me for a while, then that says a lot about you. I lost my shit with this guy. Because at the end of the day, he was a kid to turn around and go oi to a fully grown adult. It's not on. It's not on one bit. So what then? You summoned me over. What's the problem? You summoned me over. What's the problem? You better watch your back, he said to me. I turned to his brother, his clean but fat brother. Did you hear what he just said to me? His brother didn't say anything. I looked him directly. I looked his fat older brother in the eyes. Did that just tell me to watch my back? Look at me. Because he is a little boy. You're a little bit older. Did your little brother tell me to watch my back? Because if he did, we will have some serious consequences, my pedigree chum. The older brother just kept looking away from me, and I kept locking eye contact with him. Every time he turned his head away and squirmed away, I caught his gaze once more. Did your brother just threaten me? Okay, what number are you? There's no one else in there. I looked up at the screen. Orders number 58 and 59. Well, guess what? I'm going to get you a fucking refund. I lost my rag. I went over to the till. Cancel orders 58 and 59 and give me a refund for them. The gal on the counter looked at me and like, they just threatened me. Give me their money back right now. Cancel their order. You had the protest of the two boys. You can't do that, you can't do that. I want to speak to the manager. Oh. Tell you what, leave the money in the till just for now. Go and get the manager. Go on. And then we'll watch her tell you what I just told you. The manager came out 2 seconds later. Is there a problem? Yeah. That fat piece of shit, I said, and I pointed at that smelly unwashed little bastard. That fat little unwashed piece of shit, he just threatened me. Because I was telling him the rules, which he was breaking, and he just threatened me. And I'm now telling him that he's not welcome here, and I'm going to give him a full refund. And he thinks that he can protest to you. So please, you fat little fuck, protest to my manager. You really shouldn't swear, said the fat boy. I really shouldn't swear. You just turned around and threatened me, mate. Now, if you threaten me on the street, I'll give you a fucking knuckle sandwich, mate. The only reason why you're not getting the shit kicked out of you right now is because you're here. The manager tapped me on the shoulder. Go and take 5 minutes. I will do. I'm going to take my 5 minutes outside. I'll wait for you to give his money back, and then we'll see what happens, shall we? I went outside to take my breather. The manager promptly gave them a refund and got them out the door. Oh, I'm no longer on the property, you fat piece of shit, I said. It's two of you fat fucks and one of me. You got something to say to me, you piece of shit? They both looked at me. Oh, is that all you can do, is look at me? Then they both began to look down at the floor and at the ceiling of the shopping centre, onto the shops there either side, but they couldn't look at me. They couldn't look at me in the eyes. You got banned as well, didn't you, piece of shit? If I ever see you coming in that queue again, I'm gonna march you straight the fuck out of here. Get to fuck. I'm gonna tell my dad. You what? I turn around. What? Did you just say that you're gonna tell your dad on me? Oh, the big man. The big man who goes around threatening an adult thinks he can go and tell his dad that he threatened an adult, and the adult responded in a way that he himself would respond in. Like a fat piece of shit insolent cunt like you thinks that they can get away with threatening an adult. Go and tell your dad. And I'll tell you now, if you bring your dad to this door, to give me trouble, not only will I give you trouble, but I will destroy your dad in front of you. Do you understand me? He looked at me, shitting himself. How about you? Do you understand me as well? Go and get your old man. I dare you. Go get your dad. And I won't need to get my dad, but I will destroy you. And I will destroy your dad. I never saw those kids again.